What is going on, guys? This is Ben here. So today I'm going to be going over the top 4 most hated things about Pokemon Go. I reached out to you guys on Twitter to give me some suggestions, and I also have my opinions in here. So this is just my list. If I'm missing anything that you guys think, let me know in the comments. But there's a few things I got to talk about first. So I will be giving away this Pokemon Go Plus. Stay tuned towards the end of the video to figure out how to win this. And I do got to say, as this video is getting uploaded, or as you guys are watching this, I probably have 400k subscribers. So huge shout out to you guys. That's why I'm giving away this thing. And I'm also going to be in Atlanta, or on my way to Atlanta the day you guys are watching this as well. And I do want to say, every time I travel, it seems like the weather is crappy. Last time I was in California, it was awful, it was cold, and very, very windy. And now I'm headed to Atlanta, and they haven't had snow in a very long time, and I guess it's supposed to snow there. So that is great. Usually when you think of like Georgia, Atlanta, down south there, you think of like a little bit warmer. Even for winter, like I was hoping it would be like 40 to 50 degrees, but no, it's going to be in the 30s and snowing for the couple days that I'm there. So that's great. But I just wanted to mention that. Does like anyone else just have like terrible luck with weather when traveling? Because I do. But alright, let's get into the video. First up, number 4, there's a lot that goes into this one, but it is Pokemon spawns. So as you guys know, if you live in a big city where there's a lot of people, or if you live in a rural area where there's not a lot of people, your Pokemon Go experience is going to be completely different. If you live in the big city, there's usually going to be a lot more Pokemon spawns. You have a higher chance to catch a lot of rare Pokemon, whereas if you live in a rural area, there's not a lot of Pokemon spawns. You're not really going to find a whole lot of rare Pokemon. And what myself and a lot of other people would like to see is like they wish it was more of a balanced game throughout. Like it wasn't so location dependent. Like if you were, I don't know, out in the woods or something, it would be nice if you could still catch some good Pokemon. Or whereas if you're in the city, you get like kind of that similar experience. It can still be better in the cities, but it would just be nice if it was a little bit more balanced, because it's so heavily sided to cities right now, and it's not fair to a lot of people. Keep in mind though, Niantic has made it a little bit easier since the start of the game for rural players with adding a little bit more spawns, but it's still not the same. I still think there needs to be more work done in that area. And then also, this leads me to the next point, it's rare Pokemon spawns. So it's very hard to find some Pokemon, and Niantic has increased rare spawns in the past, but it's very minuscule, and it didn't really make a whole lot different. Yes, there have been events where these rare Pokemon do spawn more, for instance like the starter event that we're getting right now. But it would be nice to just like on a base level, rare Pokemon, like as you guys know, like Lapras, Snorlax, and Porygon got a little bit increase of a spawn, so they're not as hard to find, because a lot of players get tired of the continuous grind of catching the same Pokemon over and over and over again, like catching Pidgeys, Weedles, and Rattatas over and over again. So them upping the spawns a little bit to be able to find these Pokemon more, I think a lot of people would find joy in that, because one of my favorite things is catching these rare Pokemon, and you get so excited and everything. And I wish it was just a little bit easier. It would be nice. So you don't have to make it crazy easy, just a little bit easier, so people can actually see these. If they've been playing for the game for like 5 months, they should have at least seen every Pokemon once by now. So that's why this is still on the hated list, because these are still factors that we have to deal with about the game. And now we're moving on to number 3, which is Niantic itself. It's not really the game, they are the makers of the game. I thought about putting this number 1, but I don't know. It's so Niantic, a lot of people do not like them as a gaming company. I myself have basically questioned how they work pretty much. So they're not very vocal as a company, and they don't really tell everyone what's going on. It's kind of like the YouTube changes that have going on. Like YouTube doesn't really let anyone know what they're doing. They just kind of throw it out there and do it. Yes, Niantic has gotten a little bit better in the past. It's just very odd that they don't value their community as much as some other games, because the community is like what makes the game, and they kind of just, it seems as though they don't really care. They just care about kind of their own motives, and they don't really take feedback from the players that well and all this other thing. Now don't get me wrong, they have a great game here. I just think they could do a lot better in terms of keeping the community informed, telling us what's going on, listening to feedback more, and all that stuff. For now, it just seems like they're in their own little closed box, and they don't really take outside information well, which it sucks, and Niantic could have done a lot of things better, I think. So all we can really hope for is in 2017, because I have high hopes for Pokemon Go in the next year, and we just hope that Niantic learns from their past mistakes and continues to go on the right path, which they're kind of doing right now. So hopefully they continue on that, but since they are doing a little bit better now, that's why they're number 3. I still think they have a lot of work to go in terms of just community involvement, listening, and just a whole lot of other things. So that's why Niantic has made the list. All right, number 2. Oh, this one I really did not like at the start. I've come to terms with it now, and a lot of you guys still hate it. It was like one of the most tweeted things at me, and it's the speed caps of the game. So if you guys don't know what the speed caps are, if you're going over like 20, I think they upped it a little bit since in the last update, but before it was like if you're going over 20 miles an hour, you cannot spin Pokestops, you cannot see sightings or catch Pokemon over that limit. Which sucks, because the reason why they did this, I think, is because maybe they were getting a lot of lawsuits for people that were actually playing Pokemon Go while driving, hitting things, running into other people, getting into car crashes, and they were getting a lot of lawsuits and like backlash at them for allowing people to be able to play this game while driving. They did add the thing in there, like the message saying like I'm a passenger, but I guess that didn't really help, so they pretty much just said no, you cannot, this game is not going to function over 20 miles an hour, which really hurt a lot of players that aren't even the ones driving. They're the ones on like school buses, they're on public transports, just whatever, and so that made a lot of people mad. I'm kind of biased on this one though, because as you guys know, the majority of my videos I'm in a car. I live in a rural area compared to people that live in the city. I live in a cold area, so this really hurts a lot of players outside of cities, and it's already hard enough in rural areas, and it literally sucks, especially if you're not even being a driver. If you're just a passenger, there should be another option that states clearly, like they should have some sort of like consent button where it's like, I am a passenger. If I am lying, I cannot come after Niantic or file a lawsuit for anything for my actions or whatever. So I wish they would have did. They kind of did have that with the button, like the I'm a passenger button, but I wish it would have been more clear like that, because maybe that would have solved some of the issues, because then the people that are actually passengers are on public transports can still enjoy the game while you're sitting there, while you're on a bus or whatever. But I do completely understand the reasons for it. Like, they don't want people getting hurt, they want it to be feet on the ground while playing and everything, so I do get it. The only thing that I wish could still be going down is like be able to spin the Pokestops or whatever, because it sucks. Like, I understand not being able to I completely understand not being able to catch Pokemon, but why not be able to at least spin the Pokestops? That would be nice. This was like one of the most hated things, because a lot of you guys have tweeted me this, and I agree. Like, it sucks that they did this. At the same time though, I can see it. I can see why they did it, but at the same time, everyone hates it. So that's why it's number 2. All right, and number 1, this is my biggest kind of thing that I hate, and a lot of you guys, the biggest thing that you hate as well. And there's a lot that goes into this one as well, and it's the lack of new content added to the game. So since Pokemon Go has came out, there's actually been only three new things that have been added to the game, and some are very minor. One, it has been the appraisal system, which you can't even really consider that new content. It just helps find stuff out about your Pokemon. And then there's buddy Pokemon, which was actually really nice, which I really did enjoy the buddy Pokemon. And then now recently, the baby Generation 2 Pokemon have been added. Those are the only 3 things that have been added in the lifespan of the game, and that I really think needs to change in this upcoming year. That's why I have high hopes. Like, I think Niantic realized that, like, they've lost a lot of their player base because there has been nothing new added, and a lot of people were expecting like player versus player battles to be added, because like when you think of Pokemon, like, you think of battling each other, you think of like challenging your friends, Pokemon battle. Like, even in the first anime show, like, Ash is trying to get all these gym battles and be the best trainer in the world, and to be the best trainer in the world, you have to like battle other people and take them down pretty much. And there is gym battling in the game, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same as actually battling someone else. And I think that would be a huge improvement to the game, is if you can battle nearby trainers around you and get some sort of reward or whatever, use your Pokemon. And it would be cool if they added a different style of battling, whether it's just not like swiping, but I doubt they'll do that. If it is like battling each other, I'm pretty sure it'll be one-on-one and who can swipe and dodge better or have the better Pokemon. But honestly, player versus player battles should be high on their list, I think, but I don't think it is. I wish it was, because that is what so many people want, and I think would be so interesting to be able to, like, because then it's highly playable, not when you're not catching Pokemon. Like you can battle Pokemon, you can battle people at your house, you can battle people at school, you can do whatever, show off your best Pokemon while battling your friends or whatever. Like I think that would add a huge element to the game. So hopefully we see that soon. The next one is new Pokemon. A lot of people would like to see new Pokemon and catching new Pokemon and all that. That's great. They have already kind of added that, which would be nice if they would have released all of Gen 2, but they're on the right path with adding the Gen 2. Just we'd like to see more. They also did mention way at the beginning of the game is like Poke Centers and all this other stuff, but none of that new stuff has been added yet. And hopefully soon, hopefully soon some sort of new content gets added where it adds a new aspect to the game other than just catching Pokemon, because adding the new Generation 2, yes, it adds new Pokemon, but that's only for so long. So hopefully some sort of new direction the game can go in, some sort of new whatever it is. I don't even know what they're planning, but the one that sticks out in my mind is like being able to battle other people, like player versus player battles in some sort of way. Like that would be the coolest thing, I think, and that would probably be the most effective way to keep players interested in everything and have a highly playable game aside from catching Pokemon all the time. So that's my list there, guys. If you don't agree with anything, let me know. If you agree with some of the things, what is the most thing that you actually hate? What are some things you want to see? Are you excited for Pokemon Go in 2017? I am. I think Niantic has hopefully learned from a lot of the mistakes, and they're working on a lot of big things for the games. That's the list, guys. Pretty much everything off my brain now about Pokemon Go, my concerns, what I'm excited for, and everything. But now to this Pokemon Go Plus, I'm gonna be giving this away on Twitter. I'll leave a link to my tweet where how to enter. Basically, you just gotta be following me so I can message you for the winner and like or retweet the tweet to be entered. I'll pick the one winner from that. And let me know if you'd like to see more giveaways in the future. Make sure to like on the video if you'd like to see that. I'm just curious to see if you guys agree with my list or not, or things that are hated about Pokemon Go, of course. I'm sure there's a lot of other things, like smaller things, but I tried to group them into categories the best I could. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.